in right at the end there.
Wow, I mean, the header from Muniz, I don't know how he ended up putting that wide. They would have got it to 2-1, and they would have a little bit more of a window of time. The last one, and there was just consolation. But I think Arsenal deserved it. You know,
a bit better in the second half.
They were a little bit better. Odegaard started to come into it a little bit. They created some chances. Fulham will argue that they created enough chances. But in the balance of play, Arsenal did enough to win that game. Not inspiring, not a rip-roaring performance, but enough to win the game. And at this stage of the season, it's good enough.
Yeah, but I spoke about before the game tonight, this was all a lead. This is all about next Tuesday for me. So tonight's performance mattered. They needed upon a performance tonight for me to give us an indication and give the Arsenal supporters hope that, you know, we can beat this Real Madrid. Show us something tonight which gives us a little bit of inspiration, a small little bit of confidence, belief that we can turn over this Real Madrid team. I didn't see that. I've got to be honest with you. Saka, of course, coming off the pitch. Martinelli was their best attacker. But apart from that, you're struggling.
If you're doing that Real Madrid game, the only way you would have seen Arsenal getting anything out of that tie is your two centre-backs and your two central midfield players, and then Saka providing a moment of magic. You know, so you got your two centre-back pairing, which I think is up there with the best in world football. You got two real good dogs in midfield that can work hard and slow down that Real Madrid team. And then you're hoping they keep it clean sheet or keep it tight, and then Saka does something. I don't think you can overstate the
Gabriel injury in particular.
Oh my God,
Calafiori is out, obviously. They've got even some of the other reinforcements that could come in. Ben White might be out. Don't know what's going to happen with Timber.
Ben White's a short term when he said it there thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben White get moved into centre back.
Centre midfield, and maybe Trossard coming in as that false nine. I think the midfield two on the front four pick itself. Partey, Wright, you've mentioned already. Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, and Marino. I think that's pretty much in place. Now, before the game, we spoke about potentially place up for grabs. I think inside Arteta's mind, that's it. That's the six that he wants on the pitch. Unfortunately, because what's happening behind tonight defensively, he might have to rejig that ever so slightly.
I think it's easier just to pop Ben White inside. Ben White played centre half at Brighton. He's a good full-back, but I think Ben White is capable of playing centre-back, more capable than Timber. And I think for the onslaught that you're going to get against Real Madrid, you're going to need pace, and Ben White has that. That's from centre-back to slow down those Real Madrid attacks. I think Ben White, just in my mind, I'm just looking at it, I think it looks a better fit.
You're not convinced by Ben White at all?
No, it's not that. I'm thinking of that Real Madrid front four. You know, I'm thinking of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bellingham. And you know what? When I just picture them four in full flight, all that kind of combination, individual 1v1 ability, it kind of melts away in terms of the argument we're making, whether in terms of it's White or Timber who comes in at full-back. Because I just think it's
that's why Gabriel.
You feel as if it's almost impossible.
Gabriel missing is like Gabriel at centre back. You give him a fighting chance, but I think that without
it could set you up. You're just going in. They fight fire with fire. You know, it's like we're going to have a shootout.
I don't think that's not a fair fight. Fight fire with them. I mean, you're going to.
The way Martinelli played tonight.
Yeah, but you go 4-for-4 means you take it. You go on the front foot. You step in. You press them high up the pitch. To press them high effectively, you go 2v2 at the back, like Damien suggested. Gabriel and Saliba. Maybe you take that chance, even against maybe Mbappe and Vinicius. But with Kiwior in there and potentially somebody else, I don't think you can do it. And you talk about taking a step back. You're talking about a low defensive block now, potentially playing a counter-attacking game against Real Madrid. So these are the options you have.
How important is it just to get a win, though, after winning against Chelsea? Because the run of results wasn't great before that, and they've got Everton coming up with the weekend.
Yeah, listen, you know, they dropped some points recently. I think it's 2 wins in the last 6-ish, I think. You know, all competitions going out of the Cup to Newcastle was a blow as well. So a win at this time, especially after the international break, I'd be surprised if the manager didn't mention that afterwards. They're coming back after the international break, players have been away, you know, you want to get your players back in the building and start getting it right for the Real Madrid game. So a win is a win. It's a decent win, and the performance will be forgotten about.
OK, most importantly, my 2-0 prediction was ruined near the end. We were actually all got within one goal of a correct prediction in different ways, but it was a 2-1 victory for 5 minutes and he gets his goal.
Yeah, you felt as if it was fated. The whole stadium was waiting for his appearance. He got a marvellous reception, and of course he does what he generally does when he's on the pitch. He impacted the game. Probably not one of his most memorable finishes, but I like the fact he was kind of Johnny on the spot, in the right place at the right time. Martinelli, probably Arsenal's best attacker on the even, does great here, being really positive, driving the Fulham defenders, drawing them to him. It's a half-decent cross, Marino, to that near post area. Credit to Martinelli, once he lays it off to Marino, keeps running into the box, drives at that near post area. You know, that's what Arsenal need to do, commit more players into the box. It's a lovely little improvisation here from Martinelli. And Saka, as the opposite winger, should always be just arriving at that back post and gets himself a simple tap in. But it was a really good move from Arsenal overall.
Yeah, he does a lot of things well, Saka, and we can see the little celebration here with the fitness coach Sam Wilson, who gets his due. Saka has that reputation around the club, and you see if anyone saw the Amazon documentary, you can see how good he is with people and how well liked he seems to be around the place. I mean, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it seems quite evident by how everyone in the stadium is reacting to it.
Yeah, look, it's a great moment for the fitness coach Sam Wilson. You know, it's a great recognition for him, because when you're out long term, you spend an awful lot of time with one person. You're best friends pretty much, you know, first thing in the morning right through the last thing of the day, and you know you're always pushing your fitness coach, you know, want to do more. Can I up it? Can I do one more run? Can I join in? Can I join in training? Can I do the warm up? Can I join in the rondos?
And he's telling you no a lot
and he's
of the
like,
time.
no, hang on a minute. So like he has to try and keep the reins on you.
And they say the worst of you, I think the early part of those injuries, you've probably had them as well. You're not a happy bunny, like, you know, your head's down, you're an angry ant, you know, you almost like resist the kind of information that you don't make it easy for them. So yeah, it's important. I'd say they're almost like physios stroke psychiatrists, that those people. They're so important in terms of getting in between your ears and getting you straight between the ears before they actually start working on your body.
I know we're saying Real Madrid won't be quaking in their boots at that Arsenal performance, but they probably won't be too happy to see
we never
Saka
said that.
back. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you wouldn't think they would be. Yeah. I mean, Real Madrid are going to be favourites for that tie, but with Saka back, that's got to give them a puncher's chance, at least in attack.
It gives Real Madrid something to think about.
Yeah.
You know, so Bukayo Saka is the type of player that in the lead up to the game, he has to be accounted for. So when you're doing your team shape of defending and attacking, he is in the forefront of your thoughts. You know, Carlo Ancelotti and his staff there, you always have to have a plan for him. When he gets the ball, do we get him down the line? Are we getting him inside? Do we expect the midfield player to come back? Vinicius is going to go back and help the left back. So we're expecting the six to come across. Do we expect the centre back to come out? So that's a credit to Saka, the influence he has in world football now. So Real Madrid have to account for that. They will. I just don't know if Saka on his own will be enough.
It's the only area I think you'd argue is maybe a slight potential weakness in that Madrid team at left back. Maybe Garcia or Mendy. Don't know who's going to play. Whoever does, yeah, they'll have their hands full, and it will be interesting. I think Ancelotti's smart, and he understands that. So I think it wouldn't surprise him if he has a solution. It might be Bellingham over that side of the pitch rather than Vinicius, who he knows is going to track back and double up in those situations, because he'll know he puts Saka out of the game, they're as good as through.
We can get some reaction now from one of Saka's teammates, Declan Rice. He got the assist, and he was really a thorn in Fulham's side all night.
Yeah, it's one of the best games I've seen him at for a long time for Arsenal, if I'm being honest.
He's involved in a lot of chances.
Talented player, kind of burst on the scene. I always feel he's spent too long out of games. Tonight was one of those nights where he was just the main man. Everything came down his side. When you're playing against a low block, flat back five, you know, you need to open up defences. And one way of doing it is getting a white to him in 1v1 situations. And he tortured Castagna, really did. But not just him, they created chances from set plays, as they always will, Arsenal. Wide free kicks, corners, they do pose a huge threat. But with Saka out of the team, it was important for someone like Martinelli to take the reins and be the forefront of Arsenal.
Mikel Merino there as well, got himself another goal tonight. He's actually got a pretty good goal scoring record since he went up front.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna fight his corner a little, because you have to remember he's a centre midfielder. He's been centre midfielder, shifted up to centre forward and said all the best. You know, you got to do a job for us up there. It's not easy. Totally different position. Back to goal, facing back down the play. Don't think he's helped at times. Spoke about Odegaard this evening, detaching himself too much from the centre forward, not really helping him out. But I still think if you get good enough delivery into the box, occasionally will chip in. And he's not the medium to long term solution. We know that. But I give him a bit of credit. You know, his chin's up. He's trying to do the right things, trying to get into the right areas. And like you've suggested, he's chipped in with a few important goals.
Were there a few cracks appearing in the Arsenal defence even before the late consolation goal? With a few chances.
Yeah, kind of ties into my theory about Ben White going in at centre back. If you look at a lot of these chances, you know, Keogh are just not sure about him. This is a great move away here for them. Raul Jimenez has a nice shot. Listen, it's a good save, but again, it's tidied up, but it's more the crosses coming in the box, some of his positioning. Obviously, you got this one here where he gets in a good position, takes a touch, and Adama Traore takes it off him. I just get an uneasy feeling when he's on the pitch. They're nowhere near as solid. That much is obvious. And we're obviously expecting when there's a change at centre back, you know, it won't look the same, but I'm not sure this guy has what it takes, and certainly not against Real Madrid. Obviously, the breakaway here, this is the miss from Muniz. I can't believe he's missed this. But again, if you look at Kiawar's position, he's only got one player to mark. All you got to do is stay with him, stay with him, stay with him. And he drops onto the line for some reason. I have no idea why any centre back.
He's pointing at the straight. Somebody else needs to take the striker.
Yeah, but you're centre back, you're one-on-one. There's only one in the box right now, 2 centre backs. Okay, there's one arriving. Maybe he gets taken by the run there of Pereira. But still, go and take Pereira. You don't drop onto the line. And then obviously the goal comes as well with him. Look, he's got Muniz. His first instinct is always take a step back, and that's why he doesn't get close enough there to Sessegnon for that header. I think you got to be touch tight in the box, and I think his first instinct is always take a step back. That's a protective thing. I want to give myself space and time to make a decision. I just rather him go and engage.
Like you said, if Muniz had scored that earlier chance, then maybe there would have been a bigger window to get an equaliser. As it was, it ended up being a consolation goal for a player who is capable of scoring these off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they were better Fulham second half with the substitutions that they made. Lewis Skelly here, I thought, had a very dodgy second half. Made a couple of mistakes. That's a big worry. He has a double deflection here. Don't get me wrong off Saliba. Look at Lewis Skelly here. You don't have to win every single ball. He's a lad who's got a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief. But sometimes that can work against you. You can't win every single tackle that you're involved in. Should have been dropping into the space early and allowing Sessegnon to have that ball to his feet. He didn't. Sessegnon got into the space, and then it's that domino effect. Arsenal get dragged across. Saliba's a little bit unlucky here. He's in a decent enough defensive position, goes through the goalkeeper's legs. But that had been coming. Arsenal, Fulham had a lot of chances second half.
I'd make an argument there, like that as soon as that ball gets the other side of Lewis Skelly. Now, I know there's a theme where centre backs don't want to come out and they're told to protect the goal. But I'd like him to see him slide across there earlier. You know, Fulham didn't have a lot of players in the box. I think it was only the goal scorer and Saliba. I think if you slide across there and engage him higher up the pitch, but Kiawar just got caught in no man's land. He's not protecting the near post. He's not helping Saliba. He's just floating outside the width of the goal. So again, technical stuff, but some of his fundamentals, I just get a little bit.
Well, that's a massive worry. I mean, if he can't do the fundamentals in terms of what's coming down the road, you're in trouble. He's just not good enough. Simple as that. Centre half or left back, he's not at that level.
Let's have a little look at what is coming down the road.